Hello! Welcome to the turret of pleasure here in the enchanted kingdom of Hermione, the highest elevation of the enchanted kingdom. We're in the general neighborhood of Souk, BC. And I'm going to do something today. I've been meaning to do it for a while because we need a segment in the show called I Am That Sucker. Because we are all that sucker. We all, no matter how discerning a music person we think we are, we all have that, as my friend Andy Kerr calls it, that guilty pleasure. The guilty pleasure, and I've got loads of guilty pleasures, and I've done some truly foolish things in my career as a record collector. And today I get to show you possibly the most foolish thing I've ever done. It's liberating in a way. Now, I saved all my nickels and dimes and quarters and toonies and loonies for the better part of 8 months because I knew this was going to happen. This was going to come out. And I knew that ultimately I would have to own it. Despite the fact that I knew it was foolish, completely not cost-effective even in the slightest, and full of stuff unworthy of such a sophisticated person such as myself. But I bought the damn thing anyway. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen it lurking in the corner in previous videos. I'm sure some of you thought, what is that? Well, it's the Pink Floyd Early Years box. Look at this monstrosity. This, quickly put, is the last word on everything you really need to know about Pink Floyd up to Dark Side of the Moon, with the exception of the actual albums themselves, which you still have to buy. However, this fills in everything. It is, I don't remember. Let's open it up. Let's take a look. This is absolutely geared towards your typical Pink Floyd fan. Now, I'm not really that guy, but I do love the band, certainly up to Dark Side. They were one of my favorite bands as a kid. I tolerated them up until maybe Animals, and then I gave up completely. I never want to hear The Wall again. I think it's a terrible record. Look at the foam in the box. I mean, look at this. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This cost me, in Canadian dollars, if I remember right, it was $675, which is insane. However, us record people, we're insane. And it's also possibly the least easy to get at thing you'll ever own in records. It's just stupid. Now, it does come with each of the things here, the whatever boxes. And of course, because it's Pink Floyd, you have, are these in the right order? The Early Years, 1965 to 67, Cambridge Street. Cambridge Station, and whatever. Maybe we'll just go through, well, I'll go through these in a minute. Anyway, you have basically 65 to 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, and then this odds and sods, 67 to 72. There's much video in here. We'll go into this in a minute. I got to show you. This is what the kids want. Now, the kids want this stuff. I have yet to really look at this. There's a beautiful black box that says reproduction memorabilia and a list. Postcard of the T-Sets Bedford van. All Saints Hall poster. Savile Theatre poster. Now, and you get, because of course we know vinyl is better, you get vinyl. Now look at this. This is just crazy. This little sticky thing. If you want the collector's value to stay, you gotta be careful with this stuff, man. Don't ruin it. Oh, I fucked it. Oh well. Now it's worth $5 less. Okay. And then you get, now this is cool. I mean, somebody actually went to a lot of trouble. What is this now? Pink Floyd in concert. What is this? Oh, it looks like it's a program. That's what it is, a program. Remember programs? No, nobody remembers programs. It is a Pink Floyd concert program. Looks to be 1969. There's Nick Mason when he had that terrible bandito mustache. And then you got posters. And all this stuff. There's this stuff. A poster. Now, if I was really, 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 really into this stuff, I would probably color copy some of these and put them on the wall. But I don't have room. And I mean, this is, this is fine. Cool thing. Now, this is no more singles from Pink Floyd. Famous last words. The Australian Tour 71. Boy, the folks down under will think that's cool, I'm sure. Rainbow Theatre. Eclipse, a piece for assorted lunatics. There's the big postcard. I wonder what would happen if you mailed this to somebody. Mail this to a Pink Floyd record collector. They'll lose their mind. You mailed it. Oh my God! Some record collector crying shames. What the heck? Oh, what is this? Okay. Pink Floyd, Tomorrow, Keith West, the Incredible String Band, and the Fairport Convention. Oh, and the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and the Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Holy smoke! Ah, wow! Don't do the brown acid. And so on and so forth. There's some more. Jeez. Another, I don't know what that is. So that's in the little onion skin thing, which is going to be a devil's own thing to put back together again. And then you get the reissue 7 inches, so you finally get, this made me happy. You finally get It Would Be So Nice. Rick Wright's attempt at a hit. I actually think it's not a terrible song. There are other people, Roger Waters included, who think it is unlistenable. And the B-side was July a Dream, which I think is a crap song, but it made it onto Relics, and Apples and Oranges didn't. Wonder whose idea that was. Point Me at the Sky. This was their single right before that, which features there's a great video on YouTube. You can see it. It's just really ultra silly. Oh, what's this? There's a picture. There's a picture of the shot from the video, just in case you didn't know. Anyway, so there's 5 of these, 5 singles. They are obviously modern pressings, so they're slightly different. They don't have the dink in the middle. That's kind of cool to have, though. Apples and Oranges. So these are neat, and I mean, I'm happy to own them. So, as a Pink Floyd nut, sure. Did I want to pay $600 for the privilege? Well, no. But, that's sort of how it goes. It's a special thing. Don't be a grump about it. Just pay your money and be quiet. Now, and this is going to drive me nuts like it always does, because there is a certain logic in putting this whole friggin' thing back together again. So we'll just deal with this later. Playing these is a headache, let me tell you. Now, the one I play the most, and the reason I bought this, well, there's 2 main reasons I bought this. It features a quadraphonic mix, SQ 4.0 now, because we're in digital land. A mix of echoes, and apparently, I think they were planning on mixing metal in quadraphonic, and for some reason they didn't, and it's a damn shame, but we'll get back to this. So that was one big thing, and the other was the early Syd stuff. Now, there's 2 things on this that made it like I just had to have it. This first one, I'm not going to go through every one of these in detail, because believe me, some of it is for completists only. Now, the one thing is there's no master list of what's where, which is really a fucking headache. They've done this great job, and then they fucked it all up. Anyway, you get to the middle of the booklet. So CD number 1 is the 1965 recordings by the band that I don't think they were called Pink Floyd at the time, but it says here, Pink Floyd 1965, Syd Barrett, Rado Close, Nick Mason, Roger Waters, Richard Wright, and Juliet Gale singing I'll Walk With Me, Sydney. I think all of these were written by Syd, except Walk With Me, Sydney. So these are 6 songs really well recorded, really well remastered, crackerjack job. And it's 1965. And they are, to all intents and purposes, kind of a not so hot but not bad white British blues band. And really, there is absolutely nothing about them that would suggest that within 18 months they'd be making songs like Pow Our Talk H. So it's a little bit, I mean, I like it. I don't love it. I don't listen to it a lot. Walk With Me, Sydney, is, I believe, the Roger Waters song. And that one is kind of weird and cool. Have a sip off the old Rochefort there. And so those are the first 6 songs on CD 1. The rest of it is kind of a hodgepodge. Like, they didn't want to put all of Paper at the Gates of Dawn on it. And I appreciate that, because where the hell is it? It's here somewhere. I already have Piper at the Gates of Dawn in the deluxe bookie version that's actually kind of hard to store, so I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere around here. So, now that box, because Pink Floyd can't get anything straight, had an unreleased version of Interstellar Overdrive, which is from a French version, a different take, so that's cool. This has Arnold Lane, See Emily Play, Apples and Oranges, Candy in a Currant Bun, and Paint Box, all of which are on these singles in here, all of which are on the EP they made called, what the heck was it called again, the first 3 singles? It's here. Anyway, those have all been available. Then there's a 2010 mix of a version of Matilda Mother, which is interesting. There's Jug Band Blues remixed, which was on Saucerful of Secrets. And then there were 3 fascinating songs. And these literally, for me, as a Syd Floyd era enthusiast, these were almost worth the price of admission. There's a song called In the Beech Woods, which is an instrumental. And it's, I can't really, when you listen to it, it's hard to hear where you think the words might have been. There might not have been any words for this song. And then there's the now famous, through terrible bootlegs, Vegetable Man and Scream Thy Last Scream, both of which are up there with Apples and Oranges. It's the apotheosis of Syd era Floyd. Syd is at his complete peak compositionally, a lot of chromatic running up and down the neck, like Vegetable Man, just dan. And same with Apples and Oranges. He's getting sort of more simple and almost jungle. And his word imagery is getting more surreal and crazy. And I don't want to say crazy, but it's not crazy. It's fantastical is the word I should be saying. At any rate, this first CD is an A+. I can't really find any fault in it. You can't put all of Paper at the Gates of Dawn on it, and you don't really want to. CD number 2 is different. CD number 2 is really interesting because it gives us a very rare live performance featuring Syd from our good friends in Sweden, who typically, it figures you want to get really good audio out of a really old recording, go to Scandinavian Radio, because they have got it somewhere done. And this is an absolutely pristine recording, with one rather unfortunate exception. The vocals are not in the mix. Now, this is not such a bad thing when you're listening to Power Talk H or, Interstellar Overdrive, but it's kind of makes See Emily Play sound kind of weird. A terrific performance. And this is from, when is this from? It says, just says 67. The thing about this era is you could literally chart the beginning of the end for poor old Syd, because by the time they did their last sessions with him, he was still able to perform and everything, but it went downhill very quickly. So it'd be interesting to know exactly when this gig is from in 67, because literally a matter of a month makes a difference with this poor guy. And then is the absolute most fascinating, the holy grail. Everybody's just been like, oh my God, it's available. The John Latham studio recordings from 1967. Now, these were recordings of the band improvising for a movie that John Latham made. And the reels have been missing in action live September 10th, 67. And then, oh no, sorry, 20th of October, 67, sorry. Oh, the first one was live. So the gig is September. This is a month later, October. And it's just them free improvising for an experimental film by John Latham. I wish I could tell you this is a revelation. It is not. Again, they've really done some great things with the remastering in this box set. But there is a flaw in the tape of this particular thing, which causes a brief dropout every time the spool goes around. And I know if they would have busted their asses, they could have fixed this. But it was probably a whole lot of fucking work. And it would have been to perfect the sound of something that is at best kind of chaotic, kind of noise. It's not prime. It's not what you want it to be. It's Pink Floyd noodling around, kind of not knowing what they're doing. They were never brilliant improvisers. As I'm sure Nick Mason will tell you, that they just kind of did what they did. They weren't virtuosi. They weren't any of that thing they ever pretended to be. So there it is. We finally get to hear it, and you're never gonna hear it sounding better than this. And watch somebody put it out on vinyl, but it's not really very good. And it's in 9 sections that are all just arbitrarily imposed. The sections don't really have any meaning. Now, in addition to this, there is a Blu-ray video. I'm gonna need some shades for this one. Now, the Blu-ray video has all kinds of really cool stuff. It has a video for the song Chapter 24 of them just goofing around. Nick's Boogie, live in the studio recording from January 67. Interstellar Overdrive, live from the scene, UFO, January 67. Promo video for Arnold Lane. Power Talk H on BBC Studios. So there's some really cool video here. Now, it's probably, I don't know if it's still available on YouTube. Maybe not. There's the Apples and Oranges video between Syd Barrett and Dick Clark, which, again, speechless, jaw-dropping. There's an instrumental improvisation on Tomorrow's World, BBC, December. So there's lots and lots and lots and lots of video components. So each of these boxes this one has 2 CDs and a DVD / and a Blu-ray. I think the DVD and the Blu-ray are the same thing. I don't know why. Just because they could. This moves on through things like, now, how to do this without it taking forever. What's on this one? This is number 2. This features Point Me at the Sky. So this is immediately post-Syd. It features the 2 songs they did at Capitol Studios in 1968, which are curious. It features BBC radio sessions, 2 of them, which features the first of a whole lot of versions of Careful with That Axe, Eugene. You're going to hear a few of them on this box. And then there's a gig in Belgium, 68, Paris, 68, Belgium, 68, Paris, 68, Paris, 68. Point Me at the Sky, recorded from video. So that's a really cool, super obscure video. And that takes us through to just after David joins the band. Anyways, I don't think I'm going to belabor this because it's going to get boring. But suffice to say, there is video. Just about everything they ever did in front of a camera seems to have been found here. Oh yes, this one is the Morse album, which I never thought was a very good album. Well, you get lots of extra stuff from Moore. You get the song Embryo, which was an early favorite, which never really sat on an album. You get a BBC session from 69, and you get Live at the Paradiso. That's pretty good, because in 69, August, they're still doing Interstellar Overdrive. And, of course, they do Careful with That Axe, Eugene. Who knew? Now we got The Man and the Journey. And these were... Oh, let me think now. These were kind of... If I remember correctly, a lot of it ended up on Adam Hart Mother. The Man and the Journey. So this is them kind of finding their feet after Syd left. And as you might think, if you're even remotely critical, it's not their finest moment. This has the quadraphonic Adam Hart Mother on it, which was another appealing thing. I believe, is it 4.0 or did they? I think they 5.1 it and 4.0 it. I like the fact that you can get, just because I'm a nerd, they're giving you the 4.0 mixes. Where is the list? Jesus, Murphy. Here we go. Audio only. Echoes, original 4.0 quad mix. This is an early version of Echoes. It's missing stuff from the subsequent versions. And, anyways, yes, there's Echoes in quad. Adam Hart Mother is in quad. There is an entire new remastering of Obscured by Clouds. There is also, I'm going to forget, if I don't look through these, I'm going to forget about something important, but there's also, and this I found really cool, another reason I was really into this, an hour with Pink Floyd on video. They have somehow, and of course, as with all Pink Floyd, there is good news and bad news. The good news is they give you the DVDs of the movies More and the movie La Vallée, which is what Obscured by Clouds is from, which is great because all these years, since 1970 when I was 11, I wanted to see More, and you couldn't see it. There's no way to see it. Now I have it. Now, the problem, no subtitles. Most of More, well, a lot of More is in French. I can kind of figure out what's going on. Sadly, the vast majority of La Vallée is in French. My French isn't great. So I got to see it. Whether I understood it or not, it doesn't really matter. It was kind of a weird film anyway. But it's great to see them. Great to have video copies of them. The other thing is, there's a secret, special bonus for nerds like me. And that is apparently, and I don't know the exact story here, but apparently a 5.1 surround mix was prepared of metal. And it was put into one of these DVDs. But apparently the mix was authorized only by one or the other of Waters and or Gilmore. And because they don't get along very well, one of them said, wait a minute, I didn't authorize that. So they said, well, it's too late. It's already in the code. So they said, well, then take it out of the table of contents. What this means is it's in the DVD, but you can't get at it unless you know a friend, such as my friend, the microphonic fool. He can extract this information, which he duly did, and he spat it onto a Blu-ray, and by God, I have a 5.1 surround mix of One of These Days by Pink Floyd, which is the most psychedelic fucking thing I've ever heard in surround sound, and here the buggers weren't even ready to give it to me. Haha, we got them. It's fantastic. Pink Floyd was made for surround. I think we can all agree on this. I have the two immersion box sets, the Dark Side of the Moon and the Wish You Were Here, that are just full of toys and junk and stuff I don't need. But they got those surround mixes. I can't listen to Pink Floyd albums that are available in quad in stereo anymore. It's just not as much fun. And that goes for bands like Gentle Giant and some other bands who've been having stuff released in surround. It's just so great. So there you go. That's what you get for your $670, you know. And it's a giant pain in the ass to deal with. You can't find where anything is. Brighton Dome, 1972. This takes us right up to Dark Side. So this CD here is the new. Oh, there. What's this? Oh, this must be my bonus disc. Oh no, wait. One of these. Oh, this is right. They gave me an extra disc because, of course, there's a mistake, and I cannot remember what the mistake is. Anyway, there you go. You got two of them. And I think they did this with everybody. Anyway, that figures. These all have, by the way, each of these booklets. These things are just so full of junk. Little, each one of these has little handbills and the ticket stubs, the Pink Floyd. I mean, it's overwhelming if you don't know what to do with all this stuff. So I carefully put it away and hope that when I fall over dead, this is worth like $5,000, and my estate can sell it and go, who the fuck would want all this crap? And the answer is, well, Pink Floyd. Oh, now it's not going to go in. Oh, it's so perfect. It's the perfect, super annoying box set. There you go. Oh, man. Putting this back together again will take me 10 minutes. But there you go. And you can't copy it because there's copyright protection. Oh! Can't put it in my car. I forget how I did it. I think I cracked it and put it on another CD and then I don't know. But I'm glad I bought it. If you are absolutely, if you bought the immersion boxes, you probably want to try and find this before it gets stupidly expensive. There's a lot of versions of, careful with that axe, Eugene. There's a few versions of Embryo. More than enough versions of Atom Heart Mother. There's a live version here somewhere. I'm trying to think what else. And like all sorts of little ephemera. They were very hard workers, these guys, in these days. Like they did Obscured by Clouds in 4 weeks. So, some of it's great. Some of it's not so great. All of it's there. So, now they can die knowing that they put their best foot forward, I suppose. So, can't complain. Anyway, thanks. I've been meaning to do this. Remember to subscribe and tell all your Pink Floyd friends that you know a guy who has that stupid box set that nobody bought because it was so expensive. And yeah, we'll talk to you later when we get more Shimeis in.